It's Rivals Week as the Michigan State Spartans prepare to take on the Michigan Wolverines this Saturday at the Big House.
And 6 News is getting you pumped up ahead of the big matchup with stories showing you just how big this rivalry is.
So tonight we rewind the tapes to 2015.
Okay. Our Siobhan Kleffer sat down with 2 key figures whose names will forever be tied to that nail-biter, one for winning
and the other for reacting.
Prevent a return, but with nobody.
So I'm walking on the field, I'm seeing a lot of our seniors come off, tears in their eyes.
It looked like Michigan was going to pull it out.
But you have to be careful here, make sure the snap's on target.
You know, we all going out there, we're all in the huddle, trying to focus on what Coach D is saying, but still also kind of lost in the moment.
Lining up to punts, again, you don't really expect anything to go too crazy.
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State's Jalen Watts-Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game. Unbelievable.
I'm sorry, Wolverine fans. It's game footage you've likely unwillingly watched on replay over and over, but we're going to watch it again. This time in slow motion, because that's what the play felt like as it was happening for Jalen Watts-Jackson. And he still sees it frame by frame in his head 7 years later.
So we fire off the line. I kind of get around my guy, and the first thing I see is the ball in the air. You know, I catch the ball, I take a couple steps, I look up at the clock. It's like maybe 6 seconds left on the clock. I got Jermaine in front of me and one guy in blue in front of me. And from there, I'm like, I got to score. I'm already kind of celebrating in my head. I go to like kind of dive to make sure I get it, and I start getting tackled.
He did not know if he scored, if time ran out, or if he got tackled on the 1-yard line. And neither did this guy. You remember Chris Baldwin watching in disbelief, stunned, with hands on his head as if someone hit pause and froze him in time.
I do remember like kind of thinking about the clock at that point, and if somebody was able to tackle him, would there be time for a field goal? Or was time just going to run out and, disaster would be avoided?
And he scores on the last play of the game. Unbelievable.
And then, of course, disaster was not avoided.
What neither man could avoid, a mountain of pain for one, and a mountain of fame for the other. Watts-Jackson broke his hip and was out for 7 to 8 months. And Baldwin, well, he practically broke the internet.
It was crazy for a long time, being a college kid, going to parties and that sort of thing. I was a hit.
Yeah. What did you think of his reaction? I mean, did you get a chuckle initially?
It was definitely hilarious.
Is there a little jealousy at all? Like that Chris Baldwin maybe got more attention than you did?
No, it's no jealousy at all. I was more so thinking like, man, we won the game. And then as the season unfolded, like, that played a big part in us going to the college football playoffs and the Big Ten championships. Back and do it all over again, I'd probably do it the exact same way, even though I got hurt.
The whole fame thing has been, some sort of sugarcoating, I guess, of it, because, of course, the game was, a disappointing result.
Fast forward now to this season. The Wolverines are warmed up, heading into Saturday 4-0 in the conference, with the Spartans struggling a bit at 1-3. Time will tell which brother's big and which one's little. But with this sibling rivalry, if you can't handle the pressure, you could be in for a lot of hurt.
And he scores on the last play of the game. Unbelievable.
Well, all eyes will be focused on Ann Arbor this Saturday night for the big matchup between Michigan State and the University of Michigan. Many shoppers today had their focus on gearing up. Regardless of who they're rooting for, one store has everything that they're looking for.
And 6 News reporter McCoy Scribner was actually there today. And McCoy, what are the shop owners saying about this, what we like to call the special time of year?
Sherry and Lauren, it's something employees at the store in Flint have been preparing for quite some time. Rivalry week. And employees say whether you're a Spartan or Wolverine, they have something for everyone.
And your total is $82.65.
In the state of Michigan, when you enter a sports merchandise store, you'll typically see both MSU and U of M gear intermixed. But here,
Thank you again. You're welcome. Have a good day.
You'll find them both at opposite sides of the store. Chelsea Shoemaker has worked at the Split Mitt for about a year, and her uncle is the owner.
Just going with the family business.
She says the way the store is split right down the middle draws in hundreds of customers.
There's this. We are unique, and we do kind of have just the things for each team, and we try to get a little bit of variety and with everything else.
This includes Lynn Benke, who says this store is perfect for her.
Absolutely. As I bleed green, I teach blue.
While she graduated from MSU, she's a professor at U of M, so it was only right for her to grab her merchandise here.
It's fabulous because you can take care of both ends at the same time.
Shoemaker says the store has been here for a while and held a similar division gimmick before her family took over the reins from the previous owner. And she adds, rivalry week and how well each team plays has a big impact on sales.
Since the teams have been doing really well, we've also picked up in business as well.
She even holds herself to not wear one team's apparel more than the other because it could be bad for business.
Yeah, because if I do that, then the other team kind of gets a little like, as in thinking we're favoritizing, and that's not the case. We just do it because it's here and we have it and we like to represent each team.
Now, of course, I had to ask which team sees more sales, and employees say the Wolverines do, but just barely. And they also tell me the business and sales that's created during this time will typically last until after Christmas, once all holiday shopping is completed. Back to you.
Any Michigan map will show you there's one place directly between East Lansing and Ann Arbor, and that's Jackson. In fact, the difference from one to the other is less than 2 miles.
Wow. Well, 6 News reporter Luke Snyder's here for you now with a look at what side the people of Jackson stand on ahead of the big rivalry game this weekend.
Go green or go blue? It's a question that divides the Jackson community.
I'm a green and white guy, 100%.
Oh, it's go blue all day.
It is go green all day, every day, and twice on Sundays.
And for some, like Jackson County Sheriff Gary Schutte, it's a rivalry that crosses family lines.
It's pretty contentious, actually. My daughters get pretty heated about it, but it's all good-natured. At the end of the day, MSU has won a lot more recently than U of M, but I still remember the old stuff when U of M was dominant.
Memories of moments like this.
Schultz just before Frizzell got him, and a leaping interception.
That are tattooed into the minds of Michigan superfans like Jerry Cox.
That interception was off the charts. Woodson was just a beast.
For him, bleeding blue is a family tradition, and one he wears on his finger with this ring, a symbol of a bond between father and son.
I bought this for my dad many years ago. He wore it religiously all the time. And when it comes, the week of Michigan State, I feel him closer to me when I'm wearing his ring.
Football and family is a trend that also bleeds green. Jackson High School football coach Antonio Parker's had family wear the green and white. Together, they are ready for Saturday.
My wife, myself, my kids are all Spartans, and most of my family is Spartans. Got some family that's Wolverine fans, but I won't hold that against them.
With alliances split around town, there's a lot on the line this Saturday.
It gives you trash talking rights for the rest of the year around the office, around the neighborhood, or it could mean you get trash talk for a year.
Here for you in Jackson.
Michigan by 28 or 35.
Michigan State, go green, baby.
Luke Snyder, 6 News.
Welcome back. It's rivalry week, and with the big game this Saturday, a farm in Ingham County is getting into the fighting spirit.
That's right. The owner created a maze, but not just for maize and blue fans. There's plenty for those who bleed green and white to enjoy as well.
Our own Kyle Macon went in and learned that there's a lot more to it than just getting lost.
Well, just in time for Rivalry Week, Choice Farms in Weberville made a maize and blue and Spartan-themed maze. And well, it's huge.
Actual maze is 12 acres. It has over 4 miles of trails in it.
Once you get lost inside, if you look carefully, you'll find 10 check-in stations. And what's unique about this is you can track how long it takes to finish, which Loretta Benjamin says only a few other mazes in the country offer.
You scan with your camera and the QR code, and it'll give you a fun fact either about one of the universities or about agriculture.
And both of those are important to her. Loretta says her inspiration for making the maze and opening up Choice Farm Market in the next few weeks was to educate people about the importance of farming.
We want people to understand, especially the young people, they're further removed from the farm than ever, and if they don't understand where their food and fiber comes from, They're our future lawmakers. They're going to be making policies, and they need to understand agriculture.
And speaking of children,
we also have a smaller maze for the younger kiddos, and that's got 10 little sing-along, kind of like Old MacDonald had a farm type signs, and it's educational about farming there as well.
but don't worry if you can't find the exit.
We've got stands up there to help direct people if they get lost. We also have what we call corn cops that go through there, again, just to see if people are, needing assistance.
If you'd like a chance to try out the maze yourself, you're in luck, as this weekend will be the last weekend the maze will be open to the public from 12 to 6. Here for you in Weberville, Kyle Macon, 6 News.
Well, today a team of ROTC cadets from both Michigan State and the University of Michigan put their differences aside.
And they came together this morning to run in the 9th annual Alex's Great State Race.
Autumn Pitcher is here for you now to explain the importance of this tradition.
Get set, go! Just a day before the rivalry matchup between Michigan State University and the University of Michigan, over 30 ROTC cadets from both the Spartan and Wolverine Battalion put their differences aside to run 64 miles together from one campus to the other in the Alex Great State Race. It's become a tradition to honor Alex Powell, an MSU student who lost his life to cancer.
It's kind of finding that common ground between the rivalry to celebrate something like Alex Powell and Alex Powell's legacy.
Both institutions had positive impacts on Powell's life, as during his freshman year, the MSU Resource Center for Persons with Disabilities accommodated his unique needs. Powell also established a connection to the U of M where he received cancer treatment.
Kind of celebrates those resources that helped him along the way to give him the education that he had.
Powell's mother, Juliana, is proud to expand the reach to others with unique needs, much like her son.
Since the inception of the event, we have been able to endow 2 fully funded scholarships at both universities.
Bringing in funds is a way to support each university's student disability services who are there for Powell and
let other people know that it is a friendly university and that we are one big kind of community between Spartans and even U of M that is opening and welcome to all walks of life.
To commemorate others with similar paths to Powell is why Matthias Dahl, an MSU ROTC cadet, decided to train once again for his 2nd year.
My freshman year, I ran pretty well, so I'm hoping to either do as well as I did back then or do better.
A group of students with disabilities will join cadets and run the last 5 miles of the race.
It's gonna let them feel involved and ingrained into the community.
At noon, ROTC cadets made it to U of M, finishing out the race, and say they couldn't be prouder to carry on Powell's legacy. Here for you in East Lansing, Autumn Pitcher, 6 News.